Yep, so I did a thing. Yes guys, so welcome back to the channel. Now for those of you who might have been following my channel for a while, and if you were following my previous channel, which if you remember I deleted by accident, you will know that I started my original channel on my 2019 Triumph Speed Twin 1200, and since then I went to a Bonneville, and then more recently I went to the Scrambler 900, as you guys will know. But the Scrambler 900 is no more. Oh, what's happened here? Right there. What's going on here, guys? There we go. Got distracted. What do you guys think happened here? Police cordon. Somebody's been on a joyride, I reckon, some kids, and they ploughed that into a bush. Let's carry on. To get out of hedge. Yes guys, so yes, the Scrambler 900, probably in the record of the shortest ownership, I will take that crown. The Scrambler 900 is no more, but there's a very good reason, and I am back where I belong, back on the bike, which I know is the right bike for me. And you could argue it's in a very expensive way of finding that out. Oh, that torque. So yeah, this is my new to me 2021 Triumph Bonneville. Triumph Bonneville? It's not a Bonneville, is it? On a part of the Bonneville range, but this is my new to me 2021 Triumph Speed Twin 1200. So it's a couple of years newer. It's only got about 8,000 miles on the clock, and it's been very, very well looked after, and it's in black, which is absolutely lovely. So yes, so I sold the Scrambler after only a few weeks now. The glory of YouTube, obviously it may seem like I owned it for a lot shorter, but I actually owned it for a little bit longer than that. But I sold it to a lovely gentleman who came and bought it, and then I bought the Speed Twin 1200. So why did I sell the Scrambler? Well, the honest answer is I have an operation coming up on my knee in a few weeks. So I have a torn lateral meniscus. But not just that, on the latest MRI, it's not just the fact that I've got a torn meniscus, I've also got a lot of floating bits in my right knee. Now, I've had an issue with my knee for years, and you know, any sort of, if I play football with the kids, you know, it literally swells up the next day, you know, so I have to be super careful now what I do on it, so I can't be very active on it anymore. So it's got to the point where I need to do something about it. I think I am a candidate for a knee replacement in the future, but anyways, that's another story. So yeah, what I found with the Scrambler, lovely bike, obviously super comfy, absolutely loved it when I rode it, but I did a long ride down to London, down to my office, which is about 65 miles each way, and the next day I could barely walk. And what it is I have the same issue in a car. So when you're driving, when your foot's on the accelerator, your foot is not always, or your leg is not always dead straight, is it, when you're on the accelerator? It's always off to a little bit of an angle, and what I find with my knee, and I've always known this when driving a car, that when my knee is off to that angle, it causes a bit of aggravation. I don't know what it is, but if I'm just off, if I'm not straight, and I just sit at that angle for a little while, so if I do a lot of driving, you know, the next couple of days, I really struggle to walk. I have a lot of pain in my knee swells up. And I found I had the same thing on the Scrambler. I've never had it on a bike before, and I realised what it is because of the obviously high level exhaust, which pushes my knee just out a little bit. So unfortunately, there isn't really, barring getting rid of the exhaust and changing it to something else, there isn't really anything I could do about that. That's just the nature of that bike. So I thought, so I put it back up for sale just before the end of autumn to try and capture the last bit of riding weather, because obviously in the winter no one's buying motorcycles. And luckily I didn't lose too much on it, and then it was basically a like-for-like swap with this Speed Twin because it's a little bit older. And automatically riding this thing, I made the right decision. I should never have sold the first one. Oh. So this is my first sort of shakedown ride. So this bike got delivered yesterday. I didn't get a chance to ride it because it was pouring with rain yesterday. So this is the first time I'm out on this bike. Yeah, so far so good. Now I already know that, and I've actually still got them in the garage from my last Speed Twin. I'm going to put the bar risers back on, which just brings the bars up a little bit, not back, but just up a tiny bit. But other than that, I'm not really going to do too much else. I am going to put my Jivvy rack back on this and put a Jivvy top box back on it. Yes, I know it's a polarizing opinion, but I need lockable luggage. But oh my god, this thing, the torque, I've forgotten how quick it is. The thing is, when you get used to riding it and when you have it as your only bike, you forget how good it is. Oh, in the corners. Oh. Now, I'm not going to go through all the specs. You guys, this bike's been out for about 6 years now, so you guys probably know all that already. Obviously, they launched the new 2025 Speed Twin. And I actually had a video before I deleted my old channel, on my previous channel, with the same name, of why I chose this Speed Twin, or this generation of Speed Twin, over the newer generation. And the primary reason, please turn, don't go straight, oh, you're going that way as well, okay. And the primary reason is purely the dual clocks. Now, I'm not the fastest rider in the world, so I don't need necessarily the latest suspension, and all the other upgrades are nice to haves, but for me it's not a necessity. So it makes total sense for me to buy a used example and save a bit of money, and then if I want to do those upgrades in the future, you know, upgrade the suspension front and back, I will do that. But there's nothing else in that bike that really enticed me. I look at it and it looks more like a sports bike than a modern classic. So it's just doesn't do the thing for me anymore. So I don't think I'll ever own. I think if I ever chop this in the future, then I don't think I'll ever upgrade to the newer model. I'll then just move on to something else. Right, so let's have a quick walk around the bike. So yeah, this one, my old one, was the grey with the stripe, which I absolutely love that colour. But I just couldn't find a similar model, sort of similar price. So, but I actually love the black as well. There was a lot of red ones for sale. I'm not particularly a fan of the red, but the black is lovely, very understated. So this bike is very, very clean. Like I said, it's had 2 owners before me, but it looked really, really good condition, and it absolutely is. Not disappointed at all. It's got the crash bars, which is quite nice little addition. It's got the sort of crash things at the bottom there on the engine casings, and sort of a gold chain, which I thought was quite nice, which the previous owner did. Now, funny story, through the paperwork, a bit dodgy, but the registration plate is a personalised plate. Now, I don't know what that means, and so I actually found the original, or the previous owner's email address on, sorry, his email address, his mobile phone number on some of the service documentation. So I actually just messaged him yesterday out of the blue. I said, sorry, a bit random, but I just bought your old bike, and I wanted to know why the reg was a private reg, because I was thinking about changing it back to the original reg, and I wanted to ask him if it meant anything, because then it would help me decide whether I keep it or not. But funny enough, he didn't know, because it was the owner before him that changed it. So apparently it was a bit of a talking point when he owned this bike for a couple of years as to why that reg was that. But he said he kept it because it was super easy to remember. So yeah, looks like we're keeping it. Why not? So the only other extra bits is it's got the nice Triumph adjustable black levers on there, which is quite nice to see. But other than that, the rest of it is pretty stock standard. I think it looks pretty good. Really, really good condition. Really, really happy with that. Let's get back on the road. Right, so this is really just a very quick lunchtime shakedown ride, just to get out on the bike, check it's all okay. Because you know, with anything you buy from a dealer, you get sort of 3-month warranty, don't you? So you just want to make sure everything's running okay. I've already noticed that she's a bit slow to start, sometimes not on the first try. So to me, I think it might be a battery. So it might have been sitting for a while, I'm not sure. I might just message the previous owner one more question, just say when did he actually trade it in, so then you can sort of tell how long it's been sitting on their showroom floor. But I think it's quite recent. So but I remember the first, so funny enough, this is actually my third Speed Twin 1200. I had one a few years ago. It was a 2019 model as well, and that one also had starting issues. It never started on first try, started on the second or third. It would labour itself a bit, and it wasn't always the battery, and apparently it's a known thing. The second Speed Twin never had any issues starting, but this one seems to have that starting issue. So I might just shove a new battery in there anyway, just for my own reassurance. But obviously if that issue persists, then I'm guessing I've got one of those bikes. As long as it doesn't get any worse, it should be fine. So I still have the GB 350 sitting in the garage, so I've now got two bikes again, which is absolutely fine. The GB is a very different kind of bike. Now, the one thing I did find is that I've only been riding the GB recently, so since I had that issue with my knee, I kind of stayed off the Scrambler until I sold it. So I've been riding the GB around a lot, so obviously that thing's only got 20 horsepower. So jumping back onto this, when I first rode it out now, not on camera, I nearly wheelied the bloody thing because it's just so much more powerful than the GB, and you sort of forget how much torque this thing's got. But yeah, I think I made the right decision. Look how this thing just turns in. Oh, it's just sounds amazing. I just got to relearn how to ride this bike. But yeah, back where I belong, back on the Speed Twin 1200. And I think this one I'm going to keep for a long time. I know I always say that, but I'm going to. So anyways guys, this is just a very quick video. Thought I'd get out while the sun is still shining. It's due to rain all week. Give you guys a bit of an update. Still got a Triumph, still got a Honda for now. Going into winter, the weather's definitely a lot colder, but we're going to try to get out as much as we can on both bikes, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers guys.